The Rise of Esther. Have you ever felt small, unseen, or unsure of your place in the world? Have you ever wondered if your life could truly make a difference? The story of Esther reminds us that even when we feel hidden, God is still working behind the scenes, preparing us for a moment that can change everything. Long ago, in the land of Persia, there lived a young Jewish girl named Esther. She was an orphan, raised by her older cousin Mordecai. Esther did not come from a powerful family. She did not have wealth or influence. She was just a simple young woman living quietly among many others. But what she did have was a gentle spirit, wisdom beyond her years, and a heart that trusted God. At that time, Persia was ruled by a mighty king named Xerxes. After Queen Vashti was removed from her position, a search began for a new queen. Young women from all over the kingdom were brought into the palace. Esther was among them. She did not push herself forward or demand attention. She carried herself with humility, and everyone who met her found favor in her presence. When the time came, Esther was chosen to be queen. Overnight, her life changed. The orphan girl became royalty. Yet even in the palace, Esther kept her identity quiet. She followed the advice of Mordecai and did not reveal that she was Jewish. She wore the crown, but she stayed humble. She lived in comfort, but she did not forget where she came from. Meanwhile, a dangerous man named Haman rose to power. He was filled with pride and demanded honor from everyone. When Mordecai refused to bow to him, Haman's anger burned deeply. Instead of punishing just one man, Haman planned something far more evil. He plotted to destroy all the Jewish people throughout the empire. Through deceit, Haman convinced the king to sign a decree that called for the destruction of the Jews. Once the law was sealed, it could not be undone. Fear spread everywhere. Mourning filled the streets. Mordecai put on sackcloth and ashes, crying out in grief. When Esther heard about this, she was deeply troubled. Mordecai sent her a message, urging her to go to the king and beg for mercy for her people. But Esther knew the risk. Anyone who approached the king without being summoned could be put to death. Even the queen was not exempt from this law. Esther had not been called to see the king for many days. In that moment, Esther faced a choice. She could remain silent and protect her own life, or she could step forward and risk everything. Mordecai sent her words that would change her forever. He reminded her that help would come for the Jews from somewhere, but perhaps she had become queen for such a time as this. Those words awakened something in Esther. She realized that her position was not an accident. Her rise was not just for her own comfort. It was part of a greater purpose. Esther asked Mordecai to gather the people and fast for 3 days. She and her servants would fast as well. Before taking action, Esther turned to prayer. She understood that courage does not come from position alone, but from trusting God. After the fast, Esther put on her royal robes and approached the king. Her heart must have been pounding as she stepped into the throne room. The king looked at her, and instead of anger, he extended his scepter. Esther found favor once again. The king asked what she wanted, even offering up to half of his kingdom. Instead of speaking too quickly, Esther showed wisdom. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet. At the banquet, she invited them again to a second feast the next day. That night, something unexpected happened. The king could not sleep. He asked for the royal records to be read to him, and he was reminded of how Mordecai had once saved his life by exposing a plot against him. Mordecai had never been rewarded. At the same time, Haman was preparing a gallows to hang Mordecai. But everything was about to turn. The king ordered Haman to honor Mordecai publicly. The man who planned destruction was forced to celebrate the one he hated. At the second banquet, Esther finally spoke. With courage and grace, she revealed her identity as a Jew. She exposed Haman's evil plan and pleaded for the lives of her people. The king was furious. Justice was served. Haman was punished, and the Jews were given the right to defend themselves. What the enemy meant for destruction turned into victory. Mourning became celebration. Fear turned into joy. Esther's rise was not just about becoming queen. It was about becoming brave. It was about using her voice when it mattered most. She teaches us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. The story of Esther reminds us that your background does not limit your destiny. Your quiet seasons are not wasted. Even when God seems silent, He is still working. You may not see it now, but your life has purpose. Your position, your experiences, and even your struggles may be preparing you for a moment that will bless others. Like Esther, you may be called to stand up, speak out, or step forward. And when that moment comes, remember this: you were placed where you are for a reason. For such a time as this, your rise can change lives. If this inspired you, tap like, share with a friend, and subscribe for more timeless stories.